What's good with the YouTube? You already know. This is Big Flocko with a convict's perspective, and I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through with a whole lot of energy because I can. So please hit that like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. And check it out, man. Sosa Capone, right, from San Jose, has forwarded a message out there basically through YouTube, speaking about the affairs of the NF, right? Basically, a call out for the state and Fed factions to discuss a lot of what's been going on. Basically, calling out NEC that he's willing to meet Guerrero to Guerrero, Familiano to Familiano, and bring it all to the table and talk one on one, man to man. Now, 2024, right? Basically, people can, send messages to people through social media platforms. But not only do they do it on a YouTube channel, they do it so everybody else can see what your business is. Now, when this was forwarded to me, it only had 4 views. So I'm gonna anticipate that this was maybe probably forwarded to me for a reason to put out there, man. And I'm gonna sit there and say that I don't think that this was a smart move on Capone's part because, yeah, Skip put out some information about the Norte, right? About the Sud and all that, right? And not, playing a get along game with each other, right? But this kind of a little bit exposes too much NF business. It's something that should not be put out there on any YouTube channel, man. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe he's incommunicado. Maybe he doesn't have the right lines of communication. I don't know. Maybe this is his last resort to probably try to either help the situation, help his situation, and pretty much try to clear the air. I don't know. You got to remember, Capone used to be with Coco. Skip was real close to Coco and Peggy. So I'm anticipating that maybe he's seen how Skip used TikTok to probably try to convey a message, right, to the Norte and the Norteño cause, right? And he's trying to follow suit. But the truth of it is this. There's a big difference to what Skip put out there, which was for all the Northerner collective raza, right? He didn't discuss any NF business, right? He dropped maybe some subliminal lugs that only a few would really know, right? But other than that, it's two different types of ways in which shit's addressed. Because all you're doing is you're letting people in to the conflict that the NF has, still that's slowly brewing, and you're showing people how things are dealt with and how the the communications are and whatnot. I think this was probably sent to me on purpose, right? Probably just to put it out there, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put the link, right? But it's not something I think that should have been put out there. Maybe, like I said, this may be his last hurrah because I know there's been question marks into his standings based upon the fact that he's gotten caught up in the state-fed little conflict and whatnot. It's been put out there that he's been deemed and expelled from the organization, right? And he's trying to maybe get his get-backs with the state and feds. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere, though. His name really hasn't been spoken on, right, for a minute. When people say that Skip pulls someone over the phone, they're talking about Capone. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's nothing bad I can say about the dude. I've heard a lot of good things, man, but I don't know. Maybe he should have dealt with this in a whole different type of way, man, because like I said, man, you're kind of bringing forth issues to the public forum about what's going on. Now, us as content creators, we do that all the time, but that's what we do. That's our job, keeping the people informed and breaking things down so people have an understanding. But you're making it easier by putting all this out there. Now, Capone is being housed in Avenal State Prison, which is, I believe, probably a level 2 facility. And it's basically, Avenal is a reentry place, right? So people go there that are going to re-enter into society. And they also have a ill tags program, which is a 12-step program. So, I don't know. It probably is a non-designated yard. So it probably has a little bit of SNY as well on this yard. But like a lot of people know, I think last I knew, Capone was deemed. He was expelled by the organization, by the state. But I don't think he's recognizing or giving up his status, which has happened in the past where people have really came back years later. Now, yeah, he does go on to talk about how he was never afforded any due process, right? He also says that he wasn't dealt with accordingly how he should have been dealt with. That his issue should have been dealt with by an NF member, his brothers, but instead they sent others to try to hit him. Which in that he's right, man. I noticed that when they removed Lucky Mendoza, that why are they sending two NR soldados that they just recruited to do a removal on a seasoned NF member? Garnaza was supposed to take out Lucky. So this is something that they started to commonly start to do. So like I said before, yes, he's trying to do everything he can to let this issue rest on, any C's ears that will listen to him. Now, it wasn't that due process wasn't necessarily not afforded, right? They weren't acknowledging his C status. That right there is 100% the truth. Therefore, if they're not acknowledging his C status, not even as a Cat 1, they don't have to go through certain protocol procedures and how they make a decision. Yes, Northerners, Norteños are supposed to be entitled to due process, but if a C makes a decision, ain't nobody going to question that. And that's exactly what happened with fucking Capone. Now, he does take a shot at the state, saying that the true authorities are those that were there in the 90s, the ones that were sitting in positions of the OGB, which is clearly, Corny and Pinky and now Skip. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Even though technically he shouldn't be doing this, I think this is his only route to try to get a message out there and that maybe someone listens. He's really speaking about himself a little bit, right? About the due process and whatnot. But like I said, this is something that's really like above his pay grade a little bit. You know, um, he should know who he should reach out to and let them deal with it from there. So it seems like he's not getting any responses from anybody that he has to resort to this. That's just my opinion on it. The only caution I would really have told someone trying to fix this situation is you're not going to get anywhere telling people where they're wrong or what they're not doing. And therefore you're putting yourself above the program when you do so. But I get where he's probably frustrated and doesn't have any other recourse to address this but the way he's doing it now. But he starts to get, like I said, a little bit into what's going on currently with the state and feds a little bit. And see, that's going to get you in trouble, especially if you're, a low-ranking C. Now, it's a well-written, letter if you're trying to, send out a filter and address it to the people. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those, like, steadfast and footholds, and you resort back to your history. And, that's how filters are created, right? But this is something that's supposed to be helping his situation where he's looking for help. You know what I'm saying? But he's going into talking about how things have been wrong between the state and feds. You're not going to get nowhere with that. And that's the thing with writing something of this magnitude and this seriousness. You just get to the business, to the point of what's going on, what happened. He's not even, he's basically hoping that someone opens his case is what he's trying to do. And see, that's going to have to be a governing body decision if they elect to, look into his situation and status.